Today, I want to share with you some of the experiences that I've gotten from Europe, more especially from Denmark and Germany. So, if you're new to this channel, I'm Mongfen Edward. So, one of the experiences that I've actually gotten from the farmers and the farms here that they are using to see that they develop or they do better in their farming systems is one, they use high quality breeds, for example, the breeds for the crop and then the animal, because this is one of the things which is going to actually show you either you are going to prosper in your farming or you're not going to prosper, because high quality breeds, one thing is it's going to give you high chances of developing than using poor quality breeds which are going to be just costing you. Because one thing is, when you talk about for example the dairy section, you're talking about the breed of the cows you're using. For example, here there are few of the breeds we use here. One I've got the Holsteins, and then the Jerseys, and of course there are so many others. So this is one of the things you should actually look into if you are to prosper into agriculture, because just never use the breeds which are not going to give you a go ahead. Another factor or another experience that I've seen most of the farmers here they are using to see that their farms are actually growing so much is they're using experienced laborers, because what they know is once the laborer is experienced, this one is not going to cost you so much. Just matter of coming in and then starting from there. And then but one of the challenges I think I've come to see that a lot of farmers or the young farmers they are facing is they are literally getting the laborers or the workers just from nowhere, and they are dumping them into the system, not knowing their capacities, not knowing how much they can do, or how their technical know-how, if they know something about farming or not. So that's one of the things that I've seen is making a difference here, and is giving the farmers high chances of developing, or giving farmers that light to develop their farms. So this is one of the things. And then also the other thing, as part of the experience that I've seen, is one, apart from using the experienced laborers, they also train their workers so much. Once a worker has come in, is still new. For example, me, when I came just from Uganda, I never had much of the experiences. But when I came in, I got to learn a lot of things, just because that's one of the things they actually do. They train you to become a better person. They train you to see that you become this experienced person as part of their work of the team. So this is one of the experiences that I've managed to learn from Denmark. So, which I think is mostly in parts of Africa is costing us a lot most of the times. We don't just train, we just bring them and then they just start doing the work from there, and in the end they cost us so much. And another experience I've also gotten from these farms from Europe is one, high level of technology that they are using to run their farms. For example, one of the technologies they are using right now when it comes to dairy section is, for example, using the robots, and then controlling these robots on their phones or the computers. So this is one of the technologies that they are highly employing. Even if you have gone, a farmer has gone like how many meters or has gone to another country, this farmer is able to know exactly what's happening on his cows, is able to know what's happening to the milk and everything he's able to know. Because one thing is, he will know obviously either the cows are not going for milking, or they are going. So that's one of the technologies that these people are using so much. And for example, also they're using a lot of technologies, for example, use of these machineries which are actually making the work more easier, internet, which are making everything easier. That's one of the experiences I've managed to see, that a lot of farms here they are actually employing on their farms, which makes it more easier and just simple to a farmer to run his farm with the few workers he's having. And then the other experience I've also seen is market research that a lot of farmers are actually doing. So market research, before someone comes into the business, someone is already aware of exactly where I'm going to sell my products. For example, let's say as a crop farmer who is doing maybe sweet potato farming or is doing Irish potato farming, already knows exactly if I'm going to sell my potatoes for peppers, because potatoes here also they use them for peppers, or if I'm going to sell them for food. And then already the farmer who is for cows or the piggery farmer already knows exactly where I'm going to be supplying. This is one of the experiences I've managed to get here, which I feel like we the Africans we should also employ and see if we can also go far. But I'm hopeful that when we start employing most of these experiences or most of these things that the farmers here they are using, we are going to thrive through the agriculture, and we may even be the best in agriculture because we have everything it takes. Apart from, like for example, we have the soil which is very best than the one in Europe, if I can say. So that's one of the experiences that I've also managed to learn here. And the other experience I've also managed to get here is one time for investment. Actually, the farmers here have got much time for their investment. Whatever they have done or their business, they have much time. Because one thing is they are giving the time to these businesses, which is not with most of my African farmers. How I feel like we also start giving time to our businesses, for example, the farm businesses, because if you look here, I think it's a government rule which was passed that a farmer is supposed to live closer to his investments. So that is one of the things which is actually giving them an upper hand to see to prosper, because you have much time for your investment. You are always seeing what's going on, everything going on. You're always checking to know exactly what's going on. So that is one of the things which I feel like, as part of my experience that I've managed to learn, and also I feel like my fellow Africans could also adopt it to see that our agriculture also goes high and higher. And then the other experience I've also managed to get is the farmers here actually do a lot of farm meetings and the farm trainings, because these trainings and the meetings are also helping them so much to learn exactly their mistake, like to learn where they have not been best, because not all the farmers have got the same experiences. So because of these meetings and then the trainings that is organized every month or like 2 months after, those meetings are helping a lot because they are able to share a lot of information concerning the farming, which I see in Africa. Mostly we don't employ these meetings, or we don't do the meetings so much. The farm trainings, most times we are like reluctant about attending these meetings. So that's one of the experiences I've managed to see here. That's why these farmers here, they are actually going far away with agriculture, because every day they are learning new things. And the other thing is also handling the workers is also part of the experience that I've managed to see here. Once a worker is already on the farm here, this worker is going to be given attention and is always paid like in time. This is one thing I can also say, paying the wages of the workers. Because once you don't pay the wages of the workers in time, for example, let me say it's happening in Africa, if you don't pay them, these people are going to play around with the investment, and in the end, who loses? It's you to lose as the owner of the investment, or as the owner of the farm. You're going to lose, because they'll be doing something knowing that after all he doesn't pay us. But when you're doing something, you're paying them very well, you're keeping them well, their welfare is okay, everything is okay with them, they're happy. Trust me, your farm will always go forward, and they'll always love to work on your farm. That's why you find like a lot of workers who are experienced, they are running away after getting little bit of experience. People who know how to handle the workers, they come and they take them away from your farm, and they go, and because they know exactly, they know the use of the experienced workers. So when you take them there, you not put much to train or anything. So this is one of the experiences that I also have managed to learn here in Denmark, where I'm currently working. And then the other experience I've also managed to see here in Denmark is one. most of the farmers here actually, or most of the farms here also, they are owned they are generational farms, and again at the same time, these are people who come together. Let me say they are joint businesses, because when you look at the piggery section, either the joint business which is run or which is owned by 2 to 3 people. Because, for example, talking about the piggery and some of the dairy farms, they are owned by group of people. So this group of people who come together to put money into this farming business, then they bring in ideas, and this idea actually help the farm or the farmers to go forward or to grow bigger, because the money, let me say, what you put in, the inputs are coming from different sources. So this farm can never go bankrupt, that like just simply like that, because it's not owned by one person. And the other thing is, it's also being a generational farm is one of the things I've also seen so much happening in Europe, which I've not seen most times. Like, they have never seen most that such farms, however much they may be in Africa, but have never seen them. This is one of the biggest things actually giving the rise to the farmers here in Europe, that their farms are doing better. Because you are going to do something, if for example, if it's a generational farm, you know, when I'm done with mine or my years are done, I have to leave it to the next person or the next generation. Well, I think one of the farms here, I've already seen it has gone to the 15th generation. Just imagine when this farm was formed, or when it started. So this is one of the experiences that I've managed to get from the farmers here, which I feel also, if it was to be in maybe like Africa, we could also do better, and we could be seeing a lot of big farms. For example, the dairy farms, could be seeing them so much. For example, the estates, we could be seeing them so much, because their generation of things, they keep on existing, like generation after generation, they keep on existing. And the other experience I've also managed to see is most of the farmers here, they do a lot of weather forecasting, because before a farmer puts something in soil, already wants to know exactly what will happen in 2 weeks, already knows the weather which is going to be there in 2 weeks time. So that is one of the biggest things actually, which is giving the rise to the farmers here, because they use their gadgets, they use their phones to know the weather exactly, when will the next rain come and when will it stop. So that's one of the biggest things, trust me, in Africa, that is costing us so much, because not all the farmers know this, because for them now, ours is, we don't do them like, you don't use these gadgets of ours. We just predict maybe in this month, the rain will come, and once you miscalculate it and it doesn't come, you're going to plant your crops there, and then these crops are going to eventually die, because one thing is, you had thought that maybe the rain will come in maybe around next March, then the rain delays, you have already planted. So in the end, your crops are going to germinate when they are very weak, and by the time rain comes in, the crops are already spoiled or they're already burnt. So that's one of the things that I've managed to experience here, which I feel like my African people should also copy it, or should copy up. They start doing the same way, because nowadays the smartphones are everywhere. This is one of the things I've also managed to learn here. And then the other thing I've also seen here is self-belief. Majority of the farmers here actually, they believe in themselves. That's one thing, and that's one of the things which is actually killing African farmers, because mostly they are coming into this business, they don't believe in themselves, they don't believe that they can make it up to that high level. Almost they could be seeing some of the things, for example, the farms on YouTube or from the friends, but when they look at it, they see that it's something too big. So you're already losing in yourself. But when you start a business, you must have self-belief in you. You must believe that you can also make it like the way the other person has made his. So that's one of the things which I've managed to learn here, which is a self-belief. It to be good, like when all Africans or the small farmers, like they are having that self-belief in themselves. They believe in themselves all the time, and they know that they can make it better. So that's one of the experiences I've also managed to learn here. Another thing is also a hands-on job, like people do things most of the farmers here do their jobs by themselves, not doing something always hands-on. You want to participate in something, and in the process of participating, you're learning something new. So this is one thing I've seen a lot of farmers here doing. For example, let me say fixing of few things on the farms. These are literally done by most of the farmers. The machineries, they know how to fix, because before calling someone to come and fix, they already know it. It's okay. They try their level best to see that they fix it, because one, they know once you bring someone here, this person is going to work in hours, and when this person comes here and works for you for 2 hours, you know how much money you're going to pay. So that's what most of the farmers actually calculate here, and which is actually even positive, which is helping them, because the money which you're supposed to use for paying this person, like in 3 hours, maybe let me say something has taken 3 hours, 4 hours, you are doing it by yourself. So that is one of the biggest thing which is giving which is giving an upper hand to the farmers here to develop, because most of their things they fix by themselves. Where they fail, that's when they call for the expertise. I think any money you save in a business, anything you save in a business, maybe like the money which you're supposed to use for paying a worker, or you are paying a experienced person from outside who is coming to fix, for example, your power or your water or anything. If you save that money, that's very big to the business of farming, because it can work in another section, or it can work in another to do other things than paying this person. Because if you don't have this experience, for example, welding, how much will you be wasting, like every month? How much money will it be flowing outside? So this is one of the experience that I've learned here in Europe, and basically this is Denmark. The other thing we also I have managed to I've learned here is one, a lot of farms here actually do record keeping, because one thing is a farmer knows exactly how much I'm putting in and how much is going out. So record keeping is a key to any business that you are doing, even if not farming, but any business that you are doing, you must be able to know how much you are going to put and how much you will get. You know, this is a business. You know, anything you are doing or any business you are doing, this is a business, and in business you don't just talk anything, you talk about money, and money means how much money is going to be put and how much money will go out. So now, for example, when you don't write them down, or you don't calculate your business, you don't keep your records, how will you know that you're making profit or loss? So that's one of the biggest things which is actually costing a lot of small farmers, and mostly my African farmers. It's costing them a lot, because someone may come into business just because it's so they're on doing, but again, did not ask exactly how do you do your thing, how do you do the things. So this is one of the things which I see a lot of farmers in Europe are doing, because they do a lot of like they almost all their things they are documented. For example, they do let me say they calculate their profits, and they know how much they are putting, how much they will get. That's one thing you have to look into the business. That's one thing which I've learned here. And the other thing is a high level of technology. People are using high level of machineries. For example, someone goes for farming, knows, okay, one of the things I'm supposed to buy is, let me say, I'm supposed to buy tractors. So this tractor is a tractor which is going to be making for you a lot of money. However, you might have already invested huge money, but knowing that that is your asset. And this asset, however much it depreciates, but it doesn't depreciate at a fast speed. So long as you maintain it well, it will not depreciate so much. And this one is going to help you in a way that you are going to be able to carry out some of the operations on the farm by yourself. Just what do you need? You will need one. You need to only get the fuel, and then getting the fuel means just starting to do your own activities. That is one thing I've learned from the farmers here, and most of the farmers here actually they drive by themselves. They know how to operate machinery. So this is having the knowledge. The knowledge about something is also another idea. Is also another thing that I've also managed to learn here, because most of them they have got that idea about the machineries, how to purchase and where to purchase. These are the things which I've managed to learn here in Denmark, and which I feel like African farmers will also copy up. Because, for example, in Africa, you must find, for example, a person is a farmer, doesn't know even how to drive, and this person doesn't know how to drive. The other thing is doesn't have the machineries. But the thing is, if you becoming a bigger farmer, now you must think about having machineries for yourself. Having machinery means you have to know how to operate them. And now, when you want to know how to operate, okay, when you know how to operate, which means you are going to reduce on the cost of paying the labor to that person who is going to operate. So that is one of the best ways that you can develop in farming. That's the way why this the farming in Europe is actually taking a bigger shape, or is taking a good shape, or is growing so fast than ours, just because most of them, one farmer can have just one machine or two machines. Now he's going to be the one to run this machine, just buying these implements, and he just starts doing his things by himself, so he saves big. That is one of the things I've also actually managed to see here in Europe that is happening in farming, and a lot of farmers are actually using. Another thing, or another experience that I've also managed to get from the farmers here is these farmers are so friendly, and that's one thing. They are always friendly to each other, because one thing is they literally they know themselves. They are so friendly to themselves in a way that one farmer is able to support the other one. For example, I've ever seen the farmers sharing the feeds. For example, my farmer where I was before, this farmer was able to get the feeds from another farm, just because he had learned sort of the feeds. So he went the other side and got something. So this is one of the biggest things. This is one of the biggest way that you can thrive through the agriculture. Because sometimes the competitions which we do, for example, in farming, just because you are doing the same activity or you are doing the same business, so you become the enemy. This is one thing I think I've also managed to see here. Most of the farmers here, they are friends, in a way that they are able to rescue their friends, and in various way. For example, use of the machineries, they share machineries. I can easily hire from you, I can easily get from you, because also next time you come and get from me. This is one of the biggest things that I've managed to learn as part of my experience here in Denmark, to see that okay, these farmers actually, this is how they are doing their things. How I wish also my farmers in Africa also copy the same thing. And the other thing, as experience I've managed to see here, is permanent infrastructures. Actually, most of these farmers here, they're actually employing, like, most of their things are permanent. Because how does it look like? Maybe, for example, you have bought your cows, which are hybrids, and now the infrastructure or the sheds alone you are putting is just of small money. But now, do you know what's going to happen? Because either this house may fail on the cows or on your animals, or if it's a store, you bought your expensive, you have your crops which you brought home. Now it comes, the rain comes and takes away the roof, and then your crops are inside there. How does it look like for you to lose bigger thing? Because these shades which are permanent, they are going to help you for years and years. So that is one of the things I've seen actually here in Europe happening, and most of them, they believe in putting things permanently, even if he or she is going to not going to live for long. But what they know is this something which I'm putting today is mine, and I'm going to use it for years and years. So they also trust in themselves. They know that okay, I will live. So that belief there is one of the things. But I think one of the things which is costing us so much in Africa is, one, we're constructing something which are just going to be there for some few years, and then another time again you have to construct another, which becomes so hectic, and at the same time it becomes so expensive for us, because we thought maybe we are not going to live longer, or we thought maybe the business could not boom. But now, by the time the business booms, then that's when you're planning to put something permanent. Now there again, you're going to lose the time so much. You'll lose the time, because you're going to be wasting a lot of time in doing this thing now, and yet you're supposed to be now there just to grow your crops, or now to raise your animals, and then to just to start getting the profit. But now instead, the money you're getting from here, you're taking to the other business, you're taking to the structure business. So you are now again raising the structure. That is one of the biggest things. And the other thing I've also seen here is time factor, which is very big in any development, because here farmers, they know about time so much, in a way that all their things they do in time. They exactly know at what time I'm supposed to do this. So when they're to like do something, maybe say, let's say we were going for a meeting, or we're supposed to maybe like plant crops on this date. So they look at the time factor as the main thing. So in a way that when it's a crop time, like cropping time for planting crops, they do it in time. When it is harvesting time, they do it in time, because once you miss or you delay, either the snow will come, or the wind, or the too much rain will come, or the drought. All these things are happening actually. Those nature things, you may not predict them, so they time it so much. They know that we have to do it in time. If I'm to plant in the first rain, I have to plant, and if I'm to harvest, I have to harvest. So that's one of the biggest things that I've managed to see here. So guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you like this video, continue subscribing if you haven't, and sharing, and of course giving me your comments in the comment section. And my name's Mongfen Edward. See you in the next video. Bye.